Prior to this season, no two teams had ever squared off in 3 consecutive NBA Finals. That all changes tonight.
Durant, Curry for 3. Bang! Durant lobs it up. McGee throws it down. Durant at the left side calls his own number. He hit a 3. James drives, scoop layup, pass to himself, and he throws it down. Another electrifying performance from Kevin Durant.
The Golden State Warriors are the 2017 NBA champions.
So we're just months out of the Warriors' second NBA championship in the last 3 seasons, but we're looking ahead to the next one. Ring night is October 17th on TNT. They'll take on the Rockets. Then on Christmas Day, they'll see the Cavaliers for the first time since popping that champagne you saw in June, the same team they've seen in June for the last 3 years. So to discuss this now rivalry, the Czar is on the phone. Coach Mike Fratello, what is it going to take to dethrone these Warriors?
Boy, that's some question you're asking right there, because this team is stocked. And anytime you can go to the finals 3 straight years in a row, win 2 out of the 3 finals for world championships, then have the decision to make. Do we want to spend even more money than we spent a year ago to try and keep all of these players intact, bring them back together again? And this is a team that a year ago broke the record for most wins ever in an NBA regular season and didn't win the world championship after that, but then they come back and win it the following year. This is a roster that's capable of even breaking the 73 win record if they stay healthy, because really Matt Barnes goes and Caspi takes his place. Otherwise, they did what they had to do. They got back Iguodala, they got back Livingston, they got back JaVale McGee, David West, and they still have all those guys that we see on the commercials every night. So, to me, the biggest thing that happened to them is the miles that built up on these players during the off-season from traveling to India and China to promote sneakers. That's the biggest thing.
Coach, when you talk about that, Kristen asked that question, so we got to go over to the Cavs. Can you first talk to me about the LeBron James, Kyrie, Dan Gilbert triangle? Can they get this back together, Coach, and put this behind them?
Smitty, you hit it exactly on the head when you said the triangle, because that's what's happened. There are 3 different islands out there, if you want to call it that, owned with their own, each with their own take on what's going on. Let's go back first of all and remind everyone this is about product, number one, and product meaning everything that comes within or under the umbrella of LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Cavaliers, etc. Example, a couple years back, LeBron invested $1 million in a company called Blaze Pizza. They evaluate that company about a month ago, and it's now worth $250 million. Well, LeBron's $1 million gave him 10%. That 10% has now grown to $25 million. So in Kyrie's camp, they're saying as long as you stay behind LeBron James, those deals are going to come to him first and not come to you. You won't get those opportunities. You won't have a chance to do what Harden did with the ball in his hand all the time, or what Westbrook did with the ball in his hand all the time. So that's a little bit about what started this thing. Secondly, let's not forget that December 15th is not that far away. It's a very important date because it's the date that all players who were free agents and signed are now available to be traded. So what that means is if the Cavs are out there looking at possibilities of what could take place, what could they get back for Kyrie Irving, it gets better after December 15th because there are more chips available for teams to do something. So I'm saying that the Cavs could go through training camp, could go into the season and do nothing at all because Kyrie is under contract. Can they sit down? Can they smoke the peace pipe? Can they have these guys come back and play? And as you know, Smitty, every championship team hasn't all loved each other along the way. In any sport that you want to name, you'll find teams that weren't totally united, weren't totally together. Guys didn't go out with each other all the time, didn't have their families together all the time. But when they got on the court, they played. They played hard, they played together, and they were good enough to win championships. So having said that, when Cavs are out there looking right now, it's hard for them to find a deal right now, today, that allows them to get better now. Sure, they could get some young pieces, some future picks to rebuild looking to the future, but that's not what they want. They want to try and compete now, get back to the finals again, because that gives them a chance of maybe keeping LeBron at the end of the year. And look, LeBron has held these guys prisoner, okay? We have to be honest about this. He dangles it out there, never says a word, and it's hurting them, meaning the Cavs, from the standpoint free agents want to know, is he going to be there at the end of the year? It hurts them with trades because guys that they may bring in via a trade won't commit that, yeah, I'll sign beyond this 1 year I have left, because they don't know what LeBron is going to do. And LeBron's not going to make a public statement committing either way during the course of the season. Now, I look at Kyrie and I say this. If Kyrie returns, doesn't all the pressure really now fall on LeBron? Kyrie has 2 years left. Love has 2 years left. Thompson has 3 years left. So if Kyrie comes back this year and they play, now everybody sits back and goes, okay, LeBron, now what are you going to do? So this is a very complex situation that's going on right now. And for Cleveland, it's very delicate for them to make the decision. Do we want to try and keep all these veterans together? Can we keep Kyrie and LeBron happy? Can we get LeBron to come back at the end of this year? Or at some point, are we faced with the fact that, hey, you know what? We've got to start over again.
Wise words from the czar, Coach Mike Fratello. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Anytime, gang. Just give a call.